Okay, Mataji, do you want me to start here or you can start from here?
I will start from the next one, Mataji. Next slide.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Surunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I offer my most humble obeisance to my spiritual master who has opened my eyes which were blinded by ignorance with the light of knowledge. Here, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine.
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvashesha Sunyavadi Paschatyatishatarini.
Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatyatishatarine.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna. Sorry, can you sing with me?
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Go on, Mataji, one more time.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Haribo, Lata Mataji, it's not fair. You'll be keeping your talent until the end of the our course.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. Should have given you a little bit more push. Kan Sharmila Mataji? Hey.
Exactly, Mataji. Got many also, like Harini also can sing
Harini
very well.
also, Harini
Ah,
also.
and Lata Mataji got a nice tune, you know. Every time I'm goreng the same tune.
Thank you, Mataji.
Oh, sweet Mataji. It doesn't look like you were singing for the first time. Is it your first time?
First time, Mataji.
Oh my God. Right, Krishna is really dancing on your tongue. You should keep it up, Mataji. You should keep it up. Try to sing every day, like in the morning you sing.
Sure, Mataji will do.
Okay. All right, so we move to the lesson today. Harini Mataji.
Mataji, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Gita Gyan. Devaki Nandana Krishna Gita Patena Krishtati Yatana Veda Dhamina Yatati Tavatadivihi. The son of Devaki, the supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, cannot be satisfied by anyone's study of the Vedas, charity, sacrifice, pilgrimage, or vows, as much as he is satisfied by the devotional recitation of the Gita.
Okay, so Harini Mataji, Shamila Mataji already noticed your talent. So you're taking level 2, right? Okay, so we'll look out for you. Okay, Mataji, thank you so much. So Hare Krishna, welcome. Last chapter today. So this is our temple deities. This is a festival. Not sure. I think this is Radhastami, Radharani's appearance day. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Nittai Sundar Gaurahari, Shri Radha Shamasundar. They are from Radha Shamasundar are from Vrindavan, and we have the small deities Radha Gokulananda. These are all the gurus. Srila Prabhupada's guru, his guru, Srila Prabhupada's guru's father, and his guru. All right. This side here, Narshingadev. Alright, so I don't know what's this coconut offering. I'm not sure. I think it should be Radhastami. Okay, so prayers to the spiritual teachers. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vikna Vinasha Narsimha iti namine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so all glories to Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Okay, so we have Gita Mahatmya. Jai Kishan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Jayate satatam sakyam sarvajiva ganaya saha pradadam bhunjatavapi Gita Vyasirata Shasha. A person who is devoted to studying the Gita acquires a friendly disposition to all living beings, despite his occurring the reactions of his previous actions in this world. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so you can see those who have acquired knowledge from Gita, he is friendly to all living beings. This is one of the quality because we see everybody as a spirit soul. So we have equal vision to everybody. So that is the benefit of some of the wisdoms from the Bhagavad Gita. Some, right? There's a lot of wisdoms in Bhagavad Gita which we can apply in our life for us to be a good man, basically, and a good devotee. Okay. All right, so we are at chapter 18. Actually, in chapter 17, Krishna has already concluded. All right, he's already completed the Bhagavad Gita. So this is a summary of what he has taught. So he will be covering, Krishna will be covering a few things, actually a lot. This is the longest chapter, 78. The next longest is chapter 2 with 72 slokas. This one is 78 slokas. So, but what we're going to cover today is knowledge, as in spiritual knowledge, and happiness in 3 modes. So you will see spiritual knowledge also can be in 3 modes, right? And happiness also can be in 3 modes. So we want to know why there is a difference in happiness. Why got 3 modes? Okay, and then Krishna will summarize on this realization. Okay, realizing God in Brahman concept, all right, Paramatma and Bhagavan. Okay, next Krishna will talk about glories of Bhagavad Gita, and he will give the ultimate conclusion of Gita, the benefit. What is the conclusion of the Gita? Actually, this also he already mentioned, some slokas he already mentioned in previous chapters, but he's going to bring some slokas back with some variation, but generally that is the same essence. Okay, and what is the ultimate conclusion is that unconditional loving surrender unto Lord Krishna, calling us to unconditionally and lovingly surrender unto Lord Krishna, not forcefully, not with material benefits, right? Unconditional means you don't have a condition. Okay, I surrender to you, you give me this. This is conditional, just like a mother's love for the child. So she never expects anything in return from the child. So that is the perfect example of unconditional love. All right, there is no reason behind the love. It's just love, right? It's unconditional love. Okay, and so similarly, we have to love Krishna like that. All right, so the benefit is it will free us from all sins. It gives us complete enlightenment. And finally, we are able to return to the supreme abode. Okay, so this chapter is Krishna summarizing to emphasize the goal of surrender. This is the goal of Bhagavad Gita. The goal of Bhagavad Gita is surrender unto me. Okay, so the essence of all the previous chapter, Krishna is bringing back here. So Krishna will begin his summary by reiterating the glories of renounce the work. All right, renounce the fruit of the work, renounce the result. All right, he said you should renounce the fruit of the work, not the work itself. All right, and renouncing the work itself, it could be sinful. All right, and then Krishna will talk about being dutiful, and that dutiful and detached work will bring no reaction. But we will not cover this. All right, we will jump into this knowledge. Okay, so we have somebody to read the translation for us. So while the Mataji reads, we can read from our own Bhagavad Gita we have in our hand, or you can look at these words that it will come. These are the points extracted from the verses. All right, 8.20. Jayanti Mataji, you are there? I think Mataji is not here. Deviki Mataji, is your sister coming?
I'm not sure.
Not sure, huh? Okay. Okay, let me read that from my book. So you all can open your book. It's 18.20. Actually, to make my references easy, I collected all the verse translation I made in my own book. Okay, so I only have English translations here. So this is something I compiled for my own reference. So maybe you also want to do that if you want to. It's very fast to refer. 8:22. So I will read. That knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature, all right, that means the soul, right, is seen in all living entities, though they are divided into innumerable forms, you should understand to be in the mode of goodness. Meaning, seeing all beings as spiritual beings, seeing everyone same as a spirit soul. All right, so Krishna here describing 3 kinds of knowledge in modes of nature according to goodness, passion, and ignorance. All right, so this is knowledge in goodness. Okay, so anybody can recall which sloka is this? I already asked this sloka before. Now I'm asking you for the second or third time. Who remembers this sloka? Or any terms from there that you can remember, seeing everybody the same, no differentiation. Anyone? Last chapter ni? Final exam. Nobody? Remember? Okay, ada answer? Okay. Apa tu Mataji? Kasihlah clue. that term? Vision. What vision? What kind of vision? Discriminated vision? Differentiated vision? What vision? Equal vision. That's right. Okay, please remember. Huh? Okay, seeing everyone as in equal vision or with equal vision. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. Right? Pandita Sama Darshina. Pandita, a learned person. Sama, same. Darshina, see. So a learned person sees everybody equally. Pandita Sama Darshina. Okay. All right. So knowledge in passion. 21. That knowledge by which one sees that in every different body there is a different type of living entity, you should understand to be in the mode of passion. Meaning we are discriminating people, all right, based on their consciousness and based on the species. All right. Sometimes we differentiate human being. How? Based on their consciousness. Oh, this person is intelligent, so he's good. This person is a little slow, he's not good. This is how we discriminate, and this is this knowledge that you get to know about people and thus influencing your perspective or your treatment towards these people. This is the knowledge you acquire in the mode of passion. Okay, because you're not seeing everybody equally, you're discriminating based on their consciousness. Maybe their body is like this, oh, this person is perfect, or this person has some disability, something like that. If I want to put it in a very practical example, we are seeing them differently. Oh, okay, I don't want to associate with this person because he's got some disability. So this is knowledge in passion. You have acquired knowledge, some knowledge about this person, and you are using it to discriminate them, right? Because of different consciousness, because of different bodies, all right? And then we discriminate people and animals, all right? Sometimes we say, oh, only if you kill human is sinful, and then when you kill the animal, it's not sinful. It's the same, all right? It's a killing is killing, all right? All got soul, all right? Next is the knowledge in passion is that they think the body is everything. The body is the soul, and there is no soul in the body. So this is also knowledge in passion. Or they will think the consciousness is temporary. So once we die, the consciousness also goes with the body. So that is knowledge in passion. Okay, knowledge in ignorance. And that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work. All right, attached to one kind of work as the all in all, without knowledge of the truth, and which is very meager, is said to be in the mode of darkness. Okay, so the point is, knowledge in ignorance is once you've gotten a work and you have over attachment to that work alone. You don't want to do anything else, which means you don't have knowledge of the truth, right? You have to perform your duties, then you have to take up the necessary work. But instead we refuse that, and we want to be attached to only one work. So that is knowledge in ignorance. All right, so it's also sometimes they say the knowledge is limited to body. They only want to learn about body, so they don't want to learn anything more than that. All right, so that is knowledge in ignorance. Or any knowledge that we acquire is not related to absolute truth, so that is knowledge in ignorance. Okay, so this is similar to the knowledge that ordinary animals have. There is no differentiation between the consciousness of animal and human. So this knowledge about the supreme is the only thing that differentiate between human and animal. Okay, so the point here is, the conclusion what we can make here is that this is the confidential knowledge that Krishna gave. All right, first, that we are all spirit soul, we are not the body. Okay, so there is confidential knowledge, there is more confidential knowledge, and there is most confidential knowledge. So the basic one, the confidential knowledge, is the knowledge that we are spirit soul, the study between body and soul. All right, so we are the spirit. So this is basic. Who am I? Okay, and okay, this is summary of happiness, point 37 to 39. Jai Shana Mataji, do you have your English?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Text 37. That which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar and which awakens one to self-realizations and is said to be happiness in the mode of goodness. Text 38. That happiness which is derived from contact of the senses with their objects and which appears like nectar at first but poisons at the end is said to be of the nature of patience. Text 39. And that happiness which is blind to self-realization, which is delusions from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion, is said to be of the nature of ignorance.
All right, thank you, Mataji. Okay, so I hope you are following either on the Bhagavad Gita or the chart. All right, the points have been extracted here. So even happiness, you can experience it in 3 different modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. All right, so we will see what is the nature of the happiness that will fall under goodness. So it is said that the nature of happiness that falls under goodness is activities where you feel initially like a poison, and then later it will be nectarian. Looking at the result of that, it will be nectarian. So this kind of activity gives you happiness in the mood of goodness. Like how when we follow many rules and regulations to control the mind, the senses, it will appear like bitter, like poison. It's so difficult. Can I just say whatever I want to say? Can I just think whatever I want to think? But the idea is to control the senses. Remember, 3 gates to hell: lust, greed, and anger. So if you do not control, then we will end up in miseries. All right, so that is why the practice will be hard. It's just like it goes with anything, like you're studying. It is bitter, right? Nobody loves to study. Nobody likes to do assignment. But when you do the exam, when you do well, it will be very rewarding, right? So everything has certain guides, rules, and regulation is regulated. So when you have a regulated life, then the result is nectar. All right, so it's difficult to chant. Yes, like I told you that day, chanting is hard, but struggling in the 8.6 million species of life is hard. So we want to choose which hard we want. All right, because we have the knowledge, we want to think what is good for our soul. Okay, so what is the result? It finally awakens one to self-realization. This is the kind of happiness that falls under mode of goodness. If that happiness give you God realization at the end, a good life, a righteous life, then that is happiness in the mood of goodness. Even though initially it may feel tough, right? Happiness in passion. Where does happiness or passion under the mode of passion comes from? When we identify ourselves or when we engage in activities with the contact of senses with the objects, whatever we see, whatever we feel, whatever we hear, whatever we do, sing, eat. All right, so all this coming from contact of the senses with their objects. All right, so this kind of happiness, initially it will be nectar at first. Later on, it will become poisonous. Can you all think of any happiness that is in this mode? You can put in the chat box. Okay, as I explain. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. All right, so just like an unrestricted attraction between a young woman and man. All right, unregulated. So what will happen? It will result in children being born out of wedlock. So what will happen? Abortion, or abandoning the girl, the guy abandoned the girl. A lot of problems will come. So initially everything will be nectarian, everything will be nice, but later it will be miserious, full of misery. Okay, what else? People who drink. You drink, right? And then, sorry, not you. What I'm saying is people drink, right? And then what will happen? Initially everything will be nice. So what happens after that? After the activity is over, what do you feel? What generally people will feel? What do you call that? Buang anak. Yes, it's very sinful. That's even worse, right? Yes, betul. Hangover. So is that a pleasant feel? Right? To me, it's not. Okay, it's not a pleasant feel, but people do it again and again and again. And then I can give another example. Gamble. Oh, initially you'll be winning. It's so nice, but later, what happened? Lust leads to, when the lust is satisfied, you win. You have seen so many movies, right? Okay, I want to win more. I want to win more. And then they will go in. All right, some people, they want to try their luck again and again and again, and then they lose. Last satisfied leads to greed. All right, last not satisfied leads to anger. So either way, it's misery. So that is happiness in passion mode. Okay, finally, happiness in ignorance. Okay, it comes from excessive sleep and laziness. Remember, we covered this in the demonic and divine natures. So this one also, actually here, the difference between passion and ignorance is that here in the beginning, you will feel happy. Later on, it's very misery, full of misery. Here, ignorance is all the way misery. All right, like they completely inert, all right, inert, totally sleep, full of lazy, full of, they are very delusional, taking weeds or drugs and some addictions. Addiction can be in a form of drug abuse, addiction can be work, all right, so that also is not regulated, all right, work, and then weekend you sleep, eat, sleep, so that is happiness in ignorance. Okay, so these are the big differences how people feel happiness. All right, they feel happiness differently, and how the happiness are influenced by the three modes. All right, so it shows that the three modes control everything. All right, even our happiness also is being controlled by the modes, and we think we are happy. All right, so it's okay, our happiness is in this material world, we want to try to be happy, but let's try to be happy here. Okay, let's have some regulated activities. All right, so we'll have a righteous life. All right, cultured and righteous. Okay, 18.61 to 63, Kirtana Mataji. Mataji, you're there?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay.
ईश्वरा सर्वभूतानां हृदये स अर्जुन तिष्ठति भ्रामयन् सर्वभूतानि यान्त्रारुदानि मायया तम् एव शरणं गच्छ सर्वभावेन भारत तत्प्रसादात् परां शान्तिं स्थानं प्राप्स्यसि शाश्वतम् इति ते ज्ञानम् आख्यातं गुह्यतरं मया विंशतितरशेषेण याते चसि तथा गुरु. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities, who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. O scion of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. Thus, I've explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do.
Okay, Mataji, so nice you recite, so flawless.
Thank you,
And
Mataji.
you got that speed and all right in place. Were you practicing, or how, Mataji?
Yes,
Do you?
Mataji, I was practicing.
So sweet. Thank you so much. It's really nice. Okay, so it's good. Okay, so this is more. So earlier we saw confidential knowledge means seeing everybody as spirit soul. So we understand that we are spirit soul. We are not the body, we are the soul. Then move a bit higher, we come to more confidential knowledge. So what is this more confidential knowledge? It is mentioned in 18.54 and 55, which we did not cover. So I'll just quickly read that. One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes the supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. All right, which means realizing that Krishna pervades the entire universe in Brahman form. Brahman means the light, right? Energy or light. All right, so the energy or light is coming out from Krishna to maintain the entire universe, the creation. So in short, Brahman is the impersonal energy of Krishna. Okay, so that is what Krishna is saying here as more confidential knowledge. Okay, and then confidential, that is confidential knowledge. All right, confidential knowledge. And then Krishna goes further to speak about the Supreme Lord who is situated in everyone's heart. Okay, what is the term you use to refer to the Lord as the person who's situated in everyone's heart. What is that term? Anybody can recall? First was Brahman realization. Seeing Krishna's energy pervades the entire universe. Next, Krishna is residing in everybody's heart. What is that called? What is that term? Super soul. Right. What is in Sanskrit?
Paramatma.
Paramatma. Yes, we are Atma, we are Jivatma. Krishna is Paramatma. Param means supreme. Paramapadam. Param. Param. Okay, supreme. Okay, so Krishna is giving summary here. So confidential knowledge is understanding self as soul or Brahman. So confidential knowledge, when you realize Brahman pervades the entire universe, we are also tiny Brahman. Okay, if Krishna is the entire energy, we are tiny spark of the Brahman. All right, and Krishna is the supreme Brahman. Soul, super soul. Brahman, supreme Brahman. Okay, you can relate like that, right? So more confidential knowledge is about Paramatma, realizing Paramatma in our heart. Super soul. Okay, we have soul and we have super soul, but he is superior to us. Okay, next is Krishna is describing as Paramatma in the heart of everyone, and he say he is directing everyone. And how he's directing? He is directing like an operator operates a machine. So we are the machine, we are the body, we are the machine, and who's operating us? The little Brahman, all right, or little the energy of Krishna. So as Paramatma, Krishna is operating us. Okay, body is a machine and Paramatma is the operator. That's why he's seeing here who are seated. He is seated in our body machine, and then he directs us. So therefore, knowing that everything is controlled by the Supreme Lord, knowing that the Supreme Lord is the master and puppeteer. Puppeteer means young control, right? We need to surrender unto him, knowing who is the owner, who is the real proprietor. Okay, so this is summary, all right? Because from chapter 2 to 17, this is what Krishna has been describing. Okay, from more, we are moving to most now. What is the most confidential knowledge now? 64. Mahana Mataji. Mataji, you are there? Hey, Mataji, tell me she's not coming. Yeah, she's not here. Okay, let me read that. Sarvaguhyatamam bhuyah shrunu me paramam vachah ishtoshi me dridham iti tato vakshyami te hitam. Because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction. That is the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is your benefit. Alright, so now Krishna is going to reveal the essence of the Gita. Okay, so the most confidential knowledge of all is to become a devotee of Krishna. Okay, a pure devotee of Krishna. So this is the highest realization in the transcendental knowledge, which is to re-establish our relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, so we heard about three modes of knowledge: passion, goodness, passion, and ignorance. After that, we move to the different level of spiritual knowledge: confidential knowledge, more confidential, and then we will see most confident. We are seeing most confidential knowledge. All right, the confidential knowledge is about realization of Brahman. All right, and then the more confidential knowledge is about realizing Paramatma. Right, the third one is the most confidential, is to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. So these are the three confidential knowledge: confidential, more confidential, and most confidential. Okay, can remember? Huh? All right, this is all we are recapping. Krishna is recapping for us. All right, move to 65. Meera Mataji. Oh, Mataji is not here also. Okay. All right, this verse, right, we have seen in chapter 9, text 34. All right, same thing Krishna is repeating, is about 95% same. All right, manmana bhava mat bhakto matyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosime. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me and offer your homages unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. So we can see from here Krishna is repeating this verse, right, Manmana, twice Bhagavad Gita. So we can understand the importance of this verse, the essence of Bhagavad Gita here. So what is the most confidential instruction Krishna is giving? Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer homage unto me. All right, then it's like Arjuna is asking, why four things? Can't there be one thing for me to do? Okay, fine. Krishna says this: Sarva dharman paridyaja mam ekam sharanam vraja. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Mam ekam, only to me. Sharanam vraja, surrender. Sarva dharmam parityaja. Sarva means all, dharma means religious activities. All right, it could be any kind of yogas or any materially motivated religion. So all this Krishna say, abandon all of them. All right, and just surrender unto me. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Moksha isyami ma suchaha. Do not fear. Have you all been to the Ativaradar 2 years back? So if I went, so on his Ativarada's hand, it will be written Ma Sucha, something like that. It's written Ma Sucha. No fear. When you surrender to me, there is no fear. I will take care of you. Okay? So that is the essence of this Bhagavad Gita. It is contained in the 65 to 66. So Arjuna, Krishna is telling Arjuna, give up all varieties of religion. Means religion based on material motivation. And then from chapter 2 up to chapter 6, Krishna was talking about so many types of yoga. So don't worry about that also. Just surrender everything and just abandon everything and just surrender unto me. So this is what it means to surrender. We have to surrender and act for the pleasure of Krishna. What will please Krishna? So throughout Bhagavad Gita, there are so many instructions that Krishna is giving. And if you follow that, Krishna promises that I will free you from all sinful reactions. Okay, so what are the activities that we have to take up or abandon? One thing is materially motivated religion and all those complicated yoga processes, and also the activities that are abominable or breaking the pillars of religion. Which are those? No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. So like this, when we give up these regulatory principles, this is called doing something for the pleasure of Krishna, following his instructions. Okay, so surrender means, what does surrender mean? Surrender means Krishna is going to protect us. All right, to act, when we act for Krishna's pleasure, and Krishna will reciprocate. How he will reciprocate? He will protect. That's why he says, do not fear. What is he going to do to us? He's going to deliver us from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So this way we can understand that Krishna is maintaining us and that he will protect us. Okay, so we move to 68. Naveen Prabhu, I don't see Naveen Prabhu today. Yeah, not here. All right. For one who explains this is a benediction for the teacher and the preacher and the listeners as well. All right. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed. And at the end, he will come back to me. Right. This is why I always say, please share the knowledge to others. It's so beneficial for you. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be any one more dear. So in 68, this is 68, 70, 71. No, this is 68. All right, this is 70 and this is 71. So we all learn this Bhagavad Gita and then we explain it to other people. So in this way, we are sure to go back to Godhead. All right, and then he explains in the next verse how he is pleased with someone who shares this knowledge to others. He says like this, there is no one dear to me in the world than one who shares this knowledge to others. So we want to be dear to Krishna. We want to be dear to Krishna. We want to have intimate connections with Krishna. We teach this Bhagavad Gita to others. We share the knowledge. Okay, and later Krishna is saying in 70, he's categorizing this conversation as sacred. This is not an ordinary conversation. What is happening between Lord Krishna and Arjuna? This is sacred. All right, sometimes people meet in the market, they talk a lot of things, right? They talk about people, they talk about news, they talk about gossips. So these are all called gramya katha. Gramya katha means village talk. All right, it doesn't give any spiritual benefit to us. All right, so on the contrary, this conversation between Lord Krishna and Arjuna is sacred, and this is called Krishna katha. So opposite is gramya katha, and this is Krishna katha. All right, there's two kinds of Krishna katha. You all remember, right? One is by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, and another one is about Krishna in Bhagavatam. So Bhagavad Gita is the beginning of spiritual knowledge. So after we learn Bhagavad Gita, what will happen? We have to go on to Srimad Bhagavatam to know more about Krishna. Okay, so that's why Krishna said in 1866 that Arjuna, he told Arjuna to surrender. Okay, so it actually ended there already. When Krishna told Arjuna to surrender unto me, and sudah habis, it ended there, 66. But we need to go on. So when we end at the surrender, we want to go on further to see what we should do further to after we surrender. All right, that information we get in Srimad Bhagavatam. That will be the next step actually. All right, Bhagavad Gita consists of 18 chapters, 700 slokas. Bhagavatam is made of 12 cantos, 18,000 slokas. So each canto has many chapters. Okay, all right. So finally, Krishna glorifies people who listens with faith and without envy. He says the power of simply hearing the conversation. It frees one from sinful reactions. It will take us to higher planets or heavenly planet. You can also go to higher planets. All right, this is just for simply for one who hears it. All right, so that is the power of spiritual power of sound vibration. Right, so much of benefit. And then yeah, Bhagavatam 18,000. So don't worry, you can actually read the canto 2 in Krishna book. All right, it's very nice. Okay, the first canto is all about creation, how the creation started. It can see how many types of incarnation Krishna took, all that. Queen Kunti's prayers, all beautiful things are there. So later on, the next canto, it'll be more stories, like Ajamila's story will come in canto 6, like that. All right, let's move to point 72. Rasini Mataji.
कचिदेतक्षुतं पार्थ त्वयैकाग्रेण चेतसा कचित् अज्ञानसम्मोहा पनस्तस्ते धनञ्जया. O son of Pratha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled?
Thank you, Mataji. Perfect. You see how Krishna, the supreme teacher, is asking, are you clear now? Any questions? It's like that. Like a good teacher. This is what the good teacher will do, right? Any questions? Anything you want me to repeat? You want me to explain further? So this is how my Guru Maharaj explained that Krishna is asking Arjuna, is there anything that you didn't understand? Tell me and I will repeat. So it is explained like that. I will tell you the whole Bhagavad Gita again if you want. All right, but of course Arjuna is very intelligent person. He could understand the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Somehow we have to hear Bhagavad Gita many times to understand before we could even begin to understand. So this is just an humble effort. This is our humble effort to bring Bhagavad Gita of 700 slokas in just 18 days. So at least you have a feel of what this Bhagavad Gita is. You will know it is not purely religious, or is for Hindus, or for it's not for some, for a certain group, or only for some brahmanas who are sophisticated, learned in Sanskrit. Yeah, so it's not like that. It's for everybody. If not the children, it's so easy that even children are learning it. All right, and then you can see the similarities between, sometimes I quote the Tirukural and all that, and some Tamil proverb. So these are very common righteous things, wisdom, like moral values, everything is here in Bhagavad Gita. Right? By following this, a man can be a good man. All right, at the very basic, he can be a good man. So like this, Krishna is asking, are you clear? Are your ignorance and illusion now dispelled? Okay, why Krishna is asking? Because Krishna's relationship with Arjuna here now as a spiritual master and disciple. So as a spiritual master, it is his duty to know if Arjuna understood Bhagavad Gita in proper perspective, not mental speculation. Sometimes when I put questions to my guru, he will ask, are you clear now? Is it clear now? He will ask like that. All right, until he will make sure that I understand it. All right. And then what is the expected result of hearing? Ignorance and illusion dispelled. Okay. Why, Mataji? You can't wait for the war to start, ke? And can the war start now? Yes, yes, yes. It will start after the chapter 18. Later you will see what is Arjuna's mental state. Initially you will see that he was so confused, all the 10 symptoms and hair trembling, losing composure, Gandhi was sleeping, right? So now you will see what will happen. Yes, thank you, Mataji. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that your agreement on this, and we can share to people. So I'm telling my Malay ladies, Bhagavad Gita is not a religious book, so you don't have to be like so scared or anything. You can read. Anybody can read. Anybody can read, right? Sometimes they will say, "I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God." Oh, really? Then you should read this. You know, it's like that. All right. So, what else? What is expected that this from Bhagavad Gita, because it's not an ordinary book, it's a sacred conversation. So any person who is fortunate to hear from a learned teacher will be very beneficial for the person. All right, and we have to share also. Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, as a spiritual master, it was his duty to know why Krishna is asking the question. It's his duty to know if Arjuna understood Bhagavad Gita in proper perspective. With that, Arjuna will express what his mental state is. Shalini Mataji.
Nasto mohasmitirlabdha tvatprasadanmayachyuta sthitosmi gata sandeha karishe vachanam tava. Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and I am prepared to act according to your instruction.
Thank you. All right, so I got a question that they thought that the Bhagavad Gita is about war. So about the war is Mahabharata, Mahabharata, Great War. So Bhagavad Gita is just a portion of it. So it took place before the war, all right, before the war started, all right, because Arjuna had doubt. Oh my God, I'm seeing all my teachers in front of me. How am I going to kill them? So doubts clouded Arjuna's mind. So he will put on a lot of questions to Krishna, and thus Bhagavad Gita was delivered. All right, so Krishna asked question, are you clear now? Is your illusion dispelled? Then Arjuna says he's firmly fixed. Oh, infallible one, my illusion is now gone. Okay, but then you can see that how Krishna has been giving choices to Arjuna. If you look at later, I will tell you. I think we are not at this one yet. Okay, he's not forcing Arjuna to do what he's saying. All right, if you do this, you get this. If you do that, you get this. If you are in this mode, you will go here. If you are in this mode, you will go here. So all the way Krishna is giving choices. All right, and then he will say, have you decided what you want to do? Okay, he will ask, have you decided what you want to do? What you want to do, Krishna? Okay, you see the 63 we did not cover. You can open your Bhagavad Gita in 63. Anybody has Bhagavad Gita would like to read for us? 18.63. Yeah, yes. Read for us,
Okay.
please.
Thus, I've explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So here you can see Krishna is giving choice to Arjuna. Do what you want to do. He never say, of course, he's been saying, fight, you should fight because this is your duty. You should fight because this is my instruction. You should fight because I already killed them. All right, but after giving all this knowledge, he still asks Arjuna, do what you wish to do. So Now Arjuna knows he has a free will, but after hearing all this knowledge, he says, I am now firm and free from doubt. Karishye bachanam tava means I am going to act according to your instructions, which means this is like a blanket thing. He's not saying I'm going to fight as you instructed. He didn't just stop there. He said I will do. I'm prepared to do whatever your instruction is. If you say I fight, I fight. If you say I don't fight, I don't fight. So like that. That is Arjuna's total surrender. Okay, so we need to act according to Lord Krishna's instruction. This will bring us success. We are sure to achieve success in that way. Okay, Arjuna say my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory. So sometimes we are forgetful, right? So we have to seek guidance. So a guru or teacher will help us to regain our memory, come back to our roots. All right, and then I am now firm, and I'm prepared to act according to your instructions. Now we are coming to the last sloka. Remember, it started by Dhritarashtra asking question to Sanjaya. After my children and the Pandavas assembled in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, what did they do? Mamaka Pandavas Chaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. Okay? 78. Okay, Mataji.
Sanjaya Uvacha Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhuti Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So this is Dhritarashtra's, started with Dhritarashtra's question. This Bhagavad Gita started with Dhritarashtra's question, and Sanjaya was describing the Bhagavad Gita to him. All right, so in the beginning, Dhritarashtra was hoping, all the way he was hoping that it's going to be victorious for his sons. But Sanjaya has been in few places. Sanjaya has been indicating no, that's not going to happen. Even when Krishna and Pandava they blow the conch shell itself, it has shattered the hearts of the opposite party. That itself have given an indication. And then there are a few things that which we didn't cover in level 1. We will cover in level 2 the signs of victory. There are certain things, the certain signs on Krishna's the chariot, the things that the Arjuna carried. So there are few things that has actually indicated the victory is going to be on Pandava's side. Okay, apart from Krishna, of course Krishna is there, so that's one main thing, but there are other victory signs as well. All right, so Sanjaya is telling no, that's not going to happen. All right, so we have Krishna as the master of the mystics, Yogeshwara. Arjuna is Dhanurdhara, expert in firing arrows. So that's a very excellent combo we have here. So because both Lord Krishna and Arjuna there cannot be victory on the other side, because wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, there is victory, extraordinary power, and morality. But on the contrary, Dhritarashtra's sons, they don't have any of these qualities. They are not with moral. They were immoral, right? They insulted Draupadi. They tried to ruin the chastity of the Draupadi. So that is immoral. All right. Some of the sons of Dhritarashtra, they are great fighters. Yes, they are great fighters, but they cannot be equal to Lord Krishna, right? And Arjuna. And Arjuna is the best student of Dronacharya, excellent archer, Dhanurdhara. All right, and then there's another term Krishna will call him in one term that he can fight with both hands. That means he's really good, right? Okay, the opulence sons of Dhritarashtra also had some opulence. They were also rich, all right. But Lord Krishna is the husband of goddess of fortune, so he has all the fortune, all the opulence. So in this way, Sanjaya is concluding that your son's not gonna win the battle. No way, right? So that is my opinion. Sanjaya is putting a disclaimer that is my opinion. No way. All right. So these are the 4 things will be present wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna. Krishna, the Lord, and the devotee, a pure devotee. Okay, so this all recap. That's fine. You all can go through this. This is the most important essence of Gita. Always think of me for instructions. Yeah. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my dear friend. And then Krishna say, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Right? If somebody asks you, if you want to ask yourself, so what you actually learned in Bhagavad Gita, what is the goal of this Bhagavad Gita? Is it to have a righteous life, or to have a successful life, material, a wealthy life, or to become intelligent? No, the goal is to surrender to Krishna, and Krishna will deliver us from all sinful reactions. Okay, the details, the 5 topics, then you can actually go on like this explaining. So you have the guide, or now at the end of the 18 days you have some kind of knowledge, a guided knowledge, how to explain Bhagavad Gita to somebody. Okay, you can talk about this to any people, any religious people, all right, not only to Hindus. All right, so this is Sanjay's conclusion. Wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, you have opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. So this is what we supposed to cover, and we have covered that. You cover the knowledge and happiness in 3 modes: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Glories of Bhagavad Gita, the hearer, the preacher, and the listener. Ultimate conclusion of the Gita is unconditional loving surrender. No conditions, no conditions. Okay, the last slide now. Sharmila Mataji.
The importance of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare is very strongly stressed in the 2nd canto, 1st chapter, verse 11 of Srimad Bhagavatam in the following way. Sukadeva Goswami tells Maharaja Parikshit, my dear king, if one is spontaneously attached to the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is to be understood that he has attained the highest perfectional stage.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So this is the glory of the holy name as mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So you see the picture here, the person who seated on an elevated elevated seat. We call it Vyasasanu. All right. So this is son of Vyasadev. Right. Vyasadev is the person who wrote Mahabharata, where the Bhagavad Gita came from. It's part of it. All right. And the person who's kneeling in front of him is Maharaja Parikshit. If you remember the story yesterday, Maharaja Parikshit was cursed by Muni's son for an accidental offense. He cursed the king to be killed by a Takshaka. Takshaka is a snake bird, and he gave the curse 7 days. All right, at the end of 7 days, that bird will come and kill Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj surrendered. Okay, so this is my mistake, and I am just going to accept the curse. He never say, oh, it is accidental, I didn't realize, or he never justified. He just took it. Okay, and Parikshit Maharaj, for your information, is the grandson of Arjuna. Okay, all right, so this is where we see the connection. The grandson of Arjuna receiving Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami. So there's 2 books here, right? Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So the importance of chanting is strongly stressed here. So keep chanting, and yes, stay in touch with us and go for level 2 if you can. All right. So what happens is that this Parikshit Maharaj, he's got 7 days to die, right? So he wanted to do the best method to attain God realization before he dies. So that's how the Bhagavatam was delivered to Maharaja Parikshit in 7 days. So at the end of the 7 days, the Takshaka bird came and attacked him, and that's how he left the body. So it took place. That's how it took place. So Bhagavatam is 7 days actually. But we can read just the translation and also the purport if you want to. All right. So Bhagavatam is this. Okay, we have 12 cantos, 18 volumes, means 18 books. So installment is available. Okay, so I hope everybody has chanting back already, and one Bhagavad Gita for yourself. One Bhagavad Gita, your own Bhagavad Gita, that is going to be your companion like that. Okay, so I will share the quiz now. Oh yeah, all right, one more thing, one important announcement is that you all have Mahasangha. Mahasangha means you all have something like online graduation ceremony. It's on next Saturday, 26. For now, I only have the date. I don't have the time and details, everything. The poster is not out yet. So the moment the poster is out, I will share in the group. So don't leave the group yet, okay, until you receive the cert. So just stay with us. Let me send the quiz, okay. Just hang on. Any questions you all want to ask me? Please clear all your quizzes because it will be checked in order to give the cert. Okay, I hope I sent to everybody. When level 2 will start, I'm not sure yet. After the last round, it took about 2 or 3 weeks in between to start. Okay. Yay. I'm excited to see your excitement. Like for example, in level 1, level 2, right? You will learn why it's Kurukshetra, why Dhritarashtra is like this. You know, you will learn all this. You will learn a little bit about Duryodhana, some of the about the personalities in the Mahabharata. We will learn some details. So that's one. Then there'll be stories, but there'll be a lot of stories from Bhagavatam. So basically, you'll be learning 2 in 1.